Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about something simple yet profoundly powerful: how to speak mindfully. In our fast paced world, we often talk more than we listen, react more than we reflect, and communicate more to be heard than to be understood. But speaking mindfully is not just about saying the right words, it's about being fully present with your thoughts, emotions, and the people around you. Pausing before speaking is one of the simplest yet most powerful habits of mindful communication. In the rush of daily life, we often respond automatically without taking a moment to reflect on our words. This impulsive reaction can lead to misunderstandings or unintended harm. When you pause, even for a brief moment, you create space between your thoughts and your speech. That space allows your mind to settle, helping you respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. This simple act of stillness turns communication into a conscious process rather than a mechanical exchange. The power of a pause lies in its ability to shift your focus inward. During that pause, you can observe your emotions. Are you angry, impatient, defensive, or calm? This self-awareness gives you control over what you choose to express. Instead of blurting out words driven by emotion, you can select language that conveys your message more clearly and respectfully. It also gives you a chance to assess whether your words will add value to the conversation or simply contribute to noise. Through this small act, mindfulness turns speech into a deliberate and compassionate act. Moreover, a mindful pause can transform the quality of your relationships. When you pause before responding, you show others that you are present and attentive. It signals respect, that you value the conversation enough to give it careful thought. This builds trust and deepens understanding, making others feel heard and appreciated. People are more likely to engage positively when they sense that your words are genuine and well considered. Homes, over time, these small pauses can strengthen communication bonds and prevent unnecessary conflicts that arise from impulsive speech. In professional or personal settings, practicing the pause also enhances clarity and confidence. A person who pauses before speaking appears composed and self-assured. It shows that you think before you talk, that your words carry intention and weight. Leaders, teachers, and communicators who use pauses effectively often leave a greater impact because their words come from reflection, not reaction. In a world filled with constant chatter, those who pause before speaking bring calmness, wisdom, and authenticity to every conversation. Being fully present while speaking is at the heart of mindful communication. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, from buzzing phones to wandering thoughts, making it easy to lose focus during conversations. When you are not fully present, you may hear the words someone says but miss their meaning, tone, or emotion. True presence means giving your undivided attention to the moment, to the person you are engaging with, and to the words you are choosing. It requires silencing your inner chatter and resisting the urge to think about what to say next. When you bring your complete awareness to the present, your words become more thoughtful, your tone becomes calmer, and your communication becomes more genuine and impactful. Presence also involves using your body language and eye contact to show attentiveness. Small gestures like nodding, maintaining soft eye contact, or leaning slightly forward demonstrate that you are truly engaged. People can sense when you are mentally elsewhere. Even if you are fully present, your energy communicates sincerity and respect. This creates an atmosphere of trust, where others feel valued and safe to express themselves openly. Such authenticity cannot be faked. It emerges naturally from genuine presence and attentiveness in every interaction. Another aspect of being fully present is noticing your internal state as you speak. Mindful speakers are aware of their emotions, tone, and body language as they communicate. For example, if frustration or anxiety arises, noticing it allows you to soften your tone or reframe your words before they escape your mouth. This awareness prevents miscommunication and helps maintain harmony, even in difficult conversations. Being present means monitoring not just what you say but how you say it. It allows you to communicate with empathy, compassion, and awareness, turning every exchange into a mindful act of connection. When you practice full presence, conversations become more meaningful and fulfilling. You begin to appreciate silence, pauses, and the rhythm of dialogue instead of rushing through it. Each word, each gesture, and each moment carries intention. By being fully present, you make the other person feel important and heard, something that is rare and deeply valued in today's distracted world. Whether you are speaking to a colleague, a friend, or a loved one, your presence transforms the communication from a routine exchange into a mindful connection, filled with clarity, understanding, and respect. The think principle is one of the most practical and powerful tools for mindful communication. It serves as a gentle reminder to reflect before speaking, ensuring that our words carry meaning and purpose. The acronym THINK stands for true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind. Before expressing a thought or opinion, asking yourself these 5 questions can transform not only how you communicate, but also how others receive your message. In a world where words are often spoken hastily, the think principle helps filter speech through mindfulness, allowing you to communicate with awareness and integrity. It shifts the focus from simply expressing yourself to speaking with intention and compassion. The first 2 elements, true and helpful, encourage honesty and purpose. Speaking the truth builds trust and credibility. But truth must always be accompanied by sensitivity. Not every truth needs to be spoken at every moment. Wisdom lies in knowing when and how to share it. A statement that is true but not helpful can cause unnecessary pain or conflict. By reflecting on whether your words are both true and helpful, you ensure that your communication uplifts rather than harms. This approach creates a foundation of respect, where your voice becomes one that others can rely on for sincerity and balance. The next components, inspiring and necessary. Invite reflection on the value and timing of your words. To inspire means to speak in a way that encourages growth, positivity, or understanding. When your words motivate or comfort others, they create a ripple effect of goodness. But it's equally important to consider whether your message is necessary. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words. If what you are about to say does not contribute meaningfully to the conversation, it may be best left unsaid. Mindful speech is not about speaking more, it's about speaking wisely, ensuring every word has purpose and weight. The final element, kind, ties the entire think principle together. Kindness in speech does not mean avoiding difficult truths, but delivering them with compassion and empathy. Words have the power to heal, and even in disagreement, kindness can preserve connection. When you speak kindly, you not only respect others, but also reflect your inner peace and emotional intelligence. The think principle reminds us that our words are like seeds. They can plant understanding, trust, and harmony, or they can sow discord and pain. By choosing words that are true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind, we transform everyday communication into a mindful act of integrity and compassion. Listening to understand is one of the most essential yet often overlooked elements of mindful communication. Many people listen not to comprehend but to prepare their response. In conversations, the mind tends to wander, eagerly waiting for a chance to speak, defend, or argue. This reactive pattern creates distance between people and diminishes the quality of communication. Mindful listening, however, is about setting aside your internal dialogue and focusing entirely on what the other person is saying. It requires patience, openness, and genuine curiosity. When you listen with the intention to understand, you are not just hearing words, you are connecting with the emotions, experiences, and meanings behind them. True listening involves more than just the ears. It engages the heart and mind. When you are fully present, you notice not only the speaker's words, but also their tone, expressions, and pauses. These subtle cues reveal the deeper emotions and intentions that words alone cannot express. This type of listening builds empathy and trust, as the other person feels seen, heard, and valued. By offering your full attention, you create a space where the speaker feels safe to share honestly, without fear of judgment. This level of understanding transforms conversations into genuine connections, where both sides feel respected and understood. Another important aspect of listening to understand is suspending judgment. Often, while someone is talking, our minds are busy forming opinions, evaluating their words, or preparing counter arguments. This mental chatter blocks real understanding. Mindful listening encourages you to quiet these thoughts and simply be with what the person is expressing. Instead of trying to fix, criticize, or advise, you allow their perspective to exist fully. This doesn't mean you must agree with everything said. It means you acknowledge and honor their truth. When you listen without judgment, you cultivate compassion and allow for more meaningful and balanced communication. Listening to understand also deepens your own self-awareness. When you truly listen, you become aware of your reactions, triggers, and emotional patterns. You learn to respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. This inner awareness helps you stay calm and centered even in difficult conversations. Over time, mindful listening improves not only your relationships, but also your emotional intelligence. It teaches patience, empathy, and humility, the foundations of meaningful human connection. By listening to understand rather than to react, you create harmony in communication and nurture relationships that are rooted in respect, trust, and genuine understanding. Controlling tone and emotion is a vital part of speaking mindfully, because the way you say something often has a greater impact than the words themselves. Communication is not just about content, it is also about delivery. A harsh tone, a raised voice, or an impatient sigh can distort even the kindest message. On the other hand, a calm and steady tone can turn even difficult conversations into opportunities for understanding and connection. Being mindful of your tone means being aware of your emotional state before you speak. If you are angry, anxious, or frustrated, your tone will naturally reflect that inner turbulence. By taking a moment to breathe and center yourself, you allow calmness to guide your expression instead of emotion taking control. The tone of your voice acts as an emotional bridge between you and the listener. It conveys sincerity, warmth, empathy, and respect. Or, if misused, it can communicate hostility and indifference. People may forget your exact words, but they will always remember how you made them feel. When your tone carries patience and kindness, your listener becomes more receptive. Even when discussing difficult topics, mindfully adjusting your tone can diffuse tension, create understanding, and inspire confidence. It allows you to communicate in a way that nurtures relationships rather than damaging them. Speaking gently does not mean suppressing your truth. It means delivering it with awareness and compassion so that your message can truly be heard. Controlling your emotions while speaking also means taking responsibility for your inner state. Emotions are powerful forces that influence speech and behavior. When left unchecked, anger can turn into blame, frustration into rudeness, or sadness into withdrawal. Mindful speakers learn to observe their emotions without letting them dominate the conversation. This requires emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your feelings. When you pause before responding, you give yourself time to cool down, reflect, and choose your words carefully. Over time, this practice cultivates self-mastery, allowing you to communicate with balance and grace, even in moments of conflict or stress. Tone and emotion also affect how your message is interpreted. A calm tone, paired with controlled emotion, makes you appear confident and composed, which naturally earns respect. This is especially important in professional and personal interactions, where misunderstandings can easily arise from misinterpreted emotions. By maintaining steady control over your voice and feelings, you project clarity and maturity. You create an atmosphere where others feel safe to speak openly without fear of judgment or aggression. Ultimately, mindful control of tone and emotion transforms ordinary speech into conscious communication, where every word, pause, and inflection carries the intention to connect, understand, and bring peace. Choosing words with compassion is one of the most profound aspects of mindful communication. Every word we speak carries energy. It can either lift someone up or bring them down. When we speak without awareness, our words can unintentionally wound others, even when that was not our intention. Compassionate speech begins with recognizing the power of language and using it wisely. It means being considerate of how your words might affect others before you say them. A compassionate communicator understands that words are not just tools for expressing thoughts, they are also instruments for healing, understanding, and building trust. When your speech is rooted in empathy and kindness, your communication becomes a source of comfort and connection, rather than tension or harm. Speaking with compassion also involves putting yourself in the listener's position. Before you respond, take a moment to consider how your words might sound or feel from their perspective. This shift in awareness transforms how you communicate. It encourages you to choose gentler expressions, soften your tone, and speak with the intention to support rather than to win or prove a point. Compassion does not mean avoiding honesty. It means delivering truth in a way that respects the other person's emotions and dignity. When compassion guides your words, even difficult truths can be expressed with care, turning potential conflict into understanding. In every conversation, there are moments when emotions run high or disagreements arise. During such times, choosing compassionate words becomes even more essential. It is easy to react harshly when we feel misunderstood or criticized, but mindful compassion invites us to pause and respond with empathy instead of judgment. Using phrases like, "I understand how you feel," or "let's find a way to work through this," shows emotional maturity and respect. These small shifts in language can transform confrontations into meaningful dialogues. Compassionate speech allows both sides to feel heard and valued, reducing defensiveness and fostering mutual respect. It reminds us that communication is not about dominance, but about connection and cooperation. Beyond personal interactions, choosing words with compassion also has a broader impact on the environment around you. Compassionate language inspires positivity and encourages others to communicate with the same awareness. Whether at home, work, or in public spaces, your choice of words can set the tone for harmony and understanding. When people experience kindness through your speech, they are more likely to mirror it in their own interactions. In this way, compassionate communication becomes a ripple that spreads far beyond a single conversation. It nurtures a culture of empathy where people feel safe, respected, and valued, all because one person chose to speak with mindfulness and heart. Aligning words with intentions is a key element of mindful communication because it connects what you say with what you truly mean. Often people speak out of habit, impulse, or of social pressure rather than genuine purpose. This disconnect between intention and expression can lead to confusion, misunderstanding, or even mistrust. When your words reflect your true intentions, they carry authenticity and power. Speaking with alignment means being aware of why you are saying something, whether to inform, inspire, comfort, or correct, and ensuring that your language supports that goal. It requires conscious awareness of both your inner motives and the emotional impact your words may have on others. Mindful speakers take a moment to check their intentions before they speak. Are you speaking to help or to hurt? To share or to show superiority? This moment of reflection creates a bridge between thought and action, allowing integrity to guide your words. When your intentions are rooted in honesty and kindness, your message naturally becomes clearer and more meaningful. People can sense sincerity. It shows in your tone, your expressions, and even in your choice of words. Conversely, when there is a gap between what you intend and what you say, people pick up on that inconsistency, which can erode trust. Aligning words with intentions keeps communication transparent and builds relationships founded on authenticity and respect. This alignment also deepens your connection with your inner self. When you speak from a place of awareness and integrity, your words become an extension of your values. Every statement you make then becomes a reflection of who you are and what you stand for. For instance, if your intention is to spread positivity, but your words carry sarcasm or negativity, the message loses its strength. Mindful speaking reminds you to ensure that your tone, timing, and delivery match your purpose. When intention and expression move in harmony, your speech becomes more impactful because it resonates with both truth and emotion. People listen more deeply when they feel your words are genuine and aligned with your heart. Moreover, aligning your words with intentions helps cultivate self-discipline and emotional intelligence. It teaches you to pause before speaking and to evaluate the effect your message might have. This habit encourages responsibility for what you say and how you say it. In every situation, whether it's giving feedback, resolving conflict, or sharing ideas, intention-driven speech creates clarity and calmness. It allows you to communicate not to dominate or impress, but to express truthfully and kindly. Over time, this practice transforms not just your communication style, but your relationships and presence in the world. When your words consistently reflect your true intentions, they become powerful instruments of trust, authenticity, and mindful awareness. In the end, speaking mindfully is not merely about mastering communication techniques. It is about embodying awareness, compassion, and authenticity in every word we speak. When we choose our words with care, listen with presence, and express ourselves with genuine intention, our conversations become more meaningful and transformative. Mindful speech builds bridges where walls once stood, turning misunderstandings into understanding and conflict into cooperation. It reminds us that our voice holds the power to influence hearts and shape relationships. So let us speak with awareness, listen with empathy, and communicate with kindness, because every mindful word we share has the potential to bring a little more peace into the world.